Okay, here we go. This is what I started with. I found this picture on the internet when I just researched steampunk images. And I like this sort of steampunky fan. So I started with this. So that's what I started with. I went from that to I just layered scrap pieces of copy paper from some of my digitals or whatnot. And from this, I drew out a template for the smaller blade and the bigger blade, and that's the center part template, and then that's the little rivet part on there. So I just sort of sketched those out and drew them. The important thing to determine is when you get this little rivet part, it needs to be the size if it's here and if it's here, because it's going to overlay on those two. Okay? And so in order to do that, I'm making sure I'm in view here. In order to do that, these bottom parts have to match. Okay? And that's the only part that you need to have matching. Okay? And so I drew those. So I went from here, so I drew out the templates. Then I used the templates. And here is one right here. This is on the front side. I drew them out, and I'll cut them out where I just have a light slight, and that keeps me from having to color the edges or whatnot. So these will all be ready to put in there. The only thing I haven't done, I haven't put the rivets on these yet, which is no big deal. I actually do all that before I cut it out, so it makes it easier. And I just use a Sharpie. They don't have to be perfect, because these old industrial things are not. So there we go. So those are ready to cut out and then put together. Here's another, this one side is what the side they're going to be out of, but I traced them on the back side. So on these, I would have to cut them out, and then I would do this part and do the rivets, but all that would be coming after I cut them out. So you have two different options. This does give you a different look. Get these out of the way. So that one will give you a total different look when they come out. And this is what all the pieces, what these pieces were done this method here. No, actually these pieces were done this way, this method. And you can see how they have the thicker line on them. And that's what you're going to get if you trace them this way, is you're going to get that thicker line on there. So those are ready, all ready to put together. These you're going to get a thinner line. And so I just want to show you, here they go, are completed. And you can see very lightly some black going around there. This one with the silver. But as you can see, there we go. And that's what they'll look like. Now, what did I use for these? Well, these were some book pages of a book that I would have nothing to do with and read. But the pages were actually thicker before I started. And this is where I did some of the jelly plating. And so I'd gone through and I had picked out some of the images I thought would make good steampunky look things for, like, see, like that would be like a rusted fan blade. These somewhat just that. So I just picked out some that I thought would work well, and that's what I'm going to make these fans out of. That's the back side, you see. But I sort of like that, because when you cut the fan blades, you won't be able to see those pictures. But there we go. How I started from just a picture on Google Images to making my templates to that. And that's how simple it is to DIY things. And all this is free stuff I had laying around. I actually had these in a pile to dump because I wasn't going to use them. So all this is free stuff and trash, to where I went from this to I'm going to have some neat fans to put in my journals. Well, I'll catch you all later.